Hello everyone, it's Marcia joining you with another memory plan with me for the week beginning January 10th. I'm in my new Harriet Wright coiled bound planner and I'm using a beautiful kit from Crafts by Thaowie, which I'm just showing you here now, and that is trimmed with rose gold foil. I know that there are many planners that love to use Craft by Thawie's beautiful icons. They are the perfect size. They are just as pretty as a picture, they really are. And I'm certainly no different to a lot of those fellow planners who enjoy using her products. This kit is no different. It's beautifully balanced, beautifully designed. It's a really pretty kit. And I think that you'll agree it is one worth laying down for a memory plan. I'm going to speed you through the laying down of the base and then I'll come back to you when it's time to go over the plans. I'm using a lovely rose gold foiled lace trim from my spoiled planner. It's a little bit deeper than some I've been using lately, but I thought it was a really nice way to finish off those date covers at the top of the page. I know the trend has been to use florals lately, but on this occasion, I just opted to use what was in the kit, just while I'm trying to get used to working in a new planner that I haven't used for a while. You'll see me here trying to lay down some washi strips because I thought for some reason that all of the scalloped bottom washi had been cut individually. And then I realised a little further into the kit, as you'll see soon, that in fact I was just looking at the piece that goes on the sidebar. So I went back and took this washi off. I didn't waste it. I've put it away to use for another time, but I didn't need to use it because I did use the one in the kit. And I always prefer to do that if I can, especially as one of my mantras for 2020 is to use up as much of the kits as I can so that I don't have a lot of leftovers. Sit back, enjoy the speed through, and I'll catch up with you soon. The first plan that I am marking on Monday is one of my favourite plans. It is Coffee Monday. I'm using a script from Paper Trail Plans, 2 flags from the kit, and a little bit of floral trim toward the side. Once I've sorted that out, I have added into a little bit of the white space some small hearts from a sticker sheet. That sheet is a little sheet from Sadie's Stickers with multiple different styles of hearts on there. It might seem like I have given a lot of planner space to this particular Coffee Monday, but the fact of the matter is it does play an important role in my day and certainly helps me get into the right frame of mind before I start everything that I do in the day. Moving underneath that coffee sticker, I've taken a quarter box with the little notches cut out from the kit and marked on there that the majority of our staff were back on this date. We still had a couple away, but there were a few doctors back and a couple of extra staff back, so we were starting to head back to normal. And I have again used a little floral foiled piece from the kit and a laptop also from the kit. And then I've moved across to the sidebar and popped January on there, just one of my own printed January sheets. Once I had completed that staff back sticker, I got news that a member of my family, or my household rather, had tested positive. And at this particular time, government regulations were that they were deemed a close contact, and if you shared a home with a close contact, then you were also required to isolate for 7 days until you returned a negative test. That has slightly eased up now that we've had so many problems with getting the health sector back to work and the shortages that brought about. But on this occasion, it did mean that I had to isolate for this work. So that meant, fortunately, with the systems we've got in place and the fact that I remained well, I was able to work from home. I'm very fortunate to have a really good 2IC, and in fact, our whole team in general are very responsible and helpful and just generally a great team. So it meant that I could do pretty well much of what I needed to do remotely with some assistance from them actually physically in the clinic. But as the weeks were going by, the situations of isolation were becoming more and more frequent. As I mentioned at the time of doing this voiceover, the rules have changed a little bit. But I used a little quarter box from the kit with a sweet bit of gold foiling around it, scalloped foiling around it, and added a flourish from my spoiled planner between that sticker and the next one, which was a third box from the kit, and again a little bit of floral deco also from the kit. And then the last thing I noted was using a foiled header at the bottom and a sticker from Stellabo Sticker Co, Netflix and Chill, and that was exactly what I did. It was time to finish Monday and now move across onto Tuesday, and I've used one of the pretty little decorative boxes from the kit. I enjoy Crafts by Thaowie stickers in general, but I also enjoy her kits. There's some lovely variety, and that also makes it interesting, not just for viewers to see, but for us when we're laying down our stickers. It's lovely to have variety, and there's certainly plenty of that in a Sadie's sticker kit. I did pop across onto my sidebar and wanted to make sure that I filled in the meals kit. I noticed with a few of my videos last year, I'd look when I'd finished filming and discovered that I hadn't filled in the meals. So that's something that, whether it's going to be Meals of Gratitude, that's something I want to do this year. So moving up to Tuesday, and again using that sweet little frame and with the actual floral deco on it, I just marked on there that I had got a lot done, which is very typical of when I work from home. The nature of my job at the clinic means that I'm frequently interrupted, and that's just the way it is. That is part of the deal. But of course, you don't get that same level of interruption at home, which means you can sort of really get your head down and stuck into some considerable projects, which is nice. In our line of business, it's really a lot of updating to keep up with current changes. They're just so frequent in this crazy couple of years of pandemic, and you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So it's always very satisfying to get a run on something and get it done. I've used another little bit of floral deco underneath that sticker. I mean, it was already pretty enough, but you can never have too many florals. So I also popped a little leaf deco or a little leaf sticker just to bring a little bit of foiling into there. Not that there wasn't enough. Again, Crafts by Thaowie stickers have lovely foiling, and in fact the one that I'm putting down now with that simple line and the small scallop line is just so elegant and so lovely, and she does offer plenty of those in this kit as well. And I marked on there that as I had just recently found out about needing to isolate, I had to cancel appointments, had my car booked in for a service, I had a personal appointment, a couple of different things that while I was stuck at home I was going to have to do, and make sure that I didn't leave the house. And I do believe that, you know, if there are rules there and they're made for the majority of the people, then I would certainly like to try and abide by those where possible. So fortunately everybody was very understanding, and I was able to move those appointments to the following week, hoping that things did not progress. Underneath there I have used a knife, fork and spoon sticker, and I've popped that onto one of the little foiled hexagon from the kit, and just noted on there that I was going to do a meal plan so that I could order in the groceries. So we've had periods of lockdown and so on, but during lockdown you were able to go to your local grocer and so on, whereas isolation's just that next step up, and this is the first time that I've ever had to do that. So it's just a matter of thinking about what things I was going to need to do, and it was something that was new to us and what we would need to put in place for that to happen. So that little knife, fork and spoon is a printable from Petticoat Bandit, and then I just marked down there the needing to do a meal delivery and or rather groceries for a meal plan. Then I've gone back to that spoiled planner sampler, or rather a sheet with a couple of different types of flourishes on them, and I've used that again. As I've mentioned several times through my planners, if I can, I like to get some consistency in those little add-ons that I use, whether it be flourishes or deco of some description. That afternoon when I finished work, I decided to go through my sticker kits and work out my stickers for the month of January and February. Last year I did my stickers for the whole year, and then I ended up going back and changing a few, so I've decided this year not to get quite so enthusiastic, but to just work on the current month that I'm doing and choose 4 at a time as I go. And that way, as different things arrive, or perhaps if deliveries don't arrive, I can easily keep up or interchange with what I have on hand at the time. Now I'm heading down underneath that flourish, and I'm using a flag from the kit which has that similar simple gold foiled line with a little scallop, and I am marking on that with that sticker that I was going to choose my kits for the year. And then I've also used one of those little foiled icons that were also with the kit, just to mark that as well. Now with Tuesday completed, it is time to head across over to Wednesday. And I'm actually going to start this group of stickers off with a fairly large piece of the floral deco at the top of that page. And I'm going to go back to the sticker that I had with all of the little sparkle deco pieces on it, and I'm going to add that above it at the top. So I'm going to a plain sheet of paper, as I've mentioned before. I'm still trying to get used to writing with that coil in the way. So given that Wednesday's right on the coil, I'm trying to construct things off the actual book. And there I am putting down the floral deco and the little half box with some foiling on it, and another very small fine piece of foiling just to pretty it up a little bit further and add some more foil. And I just wrote on that particular sticker that I had lots of emails, and we were also in a period of transitioning across to a new computer organisation, and I was enjoying the fact that they were quite vigilant. I was getting good correspondence. I could see that they were going to be very professional, and that was very reassuring with the potential that we might have to work remotely more frequently with the spread of COVID. The whole idea of having a digital system that works so well that you can just literally pick up and move it to home is definitely the aim, and that has been tested recently with the current spread of this Omicron strain. But also, as you'll see in a spread in a couple of weeks, we had a significant event at the clinic and it caused it to be closed for a couple of days, and we were literally able to relocate and set up our normal work practices really from a home base, and we did it effortlessly. So that's very reassuring that those processes are under control and well in place. I've used another quarter box from the kit with the little notched edges, a circle, and I've put a little desk scene there from the Pretty Pink Co. and just marked on their printer, because unfortunately the printer that is our fax printer and the main printer for reception was having a moment. It's been a bit of a lemon, this printer, from the time we bought it, unfortunately, and it was having another time. Although, as it turns out, in speaking to the manufacturer, it should never have been purchased for the load that it gets at our reception, and that's something that's going to have to be addressed going forward. I lost a small amount of footage here, but basically at the bottom of Wednesday, I used a half scallop circle to mention, and a sticker from the kit to note that I tidied the stickers that were left over from one of the plan with me's. I try to do it as I go, but that doesn't always happen, and as I've been busy at my desk with work, that sort of held me up a little bit. I also used another flourish from that same sheet and finished it off with Watching the Expanse, which is a series I'd seen before, and there were some more episodes out, and I used a TV from Christine's Paper Studio. I then went back over the bottom washi in a few different places just to add a little bit of extra gold foiling. So moving across on to Thursday the 13th and the start of the second half of the week, I've used that cute little calendar from the kit and some more floral, and just marked on there that I really had to do something about not just a few COVID kilos, but some extra kilos over Christmas. It was time to stop making excuses and to actually assign some time to getting that sorted. So I decided to note that in my planner so that I would be held accountable, even if it was just me holding me accountable. Another flourish underneath that, and then popping down underneath the flourish, I added another one of those fancy boxes with a little bit of floral deco to the side, and the grocery sticker from the kit, just to put on there that I had to do another shopping list. Didn't quite have everything I need. We have a shopping centre very close by, really it's within walking distance, but because I was isolating, I couldn't go and do that, and I am used to being able to pop out if there's something I need or I've forgotten. But in this case, I just had to go through the process. We were very lucky. There were family that were happy to drop things off for us and do all of those sorts of things. But they're also busy beavers, so we tried to be as independent as we could and not bother too many people while we worked through this little phase. And as I was counting down my days, I had phone calls from more staff whose family didn't, at this stage, we didn't actually have anybody positive in our workforce. They were all contacts of people, which was keeping people at home isolating, and that was becoming far more widespread. So I've used a half box from the kit. I also used another one of those little gold dividers from Paper Trail Plans, which you can see me fluffing around with here at the moment, and a little laptop also. Was that laptop from the kit? Yes, I think so. Moving down underneath that half box, I have used a hexagon and a circle from the kit just to mark that I ordered some silhouette mats after the debacle of things not working and me not getting my print and cut, and me insisting that my husband wouldn't have known what he was talking about because it's my silhouette. I decided I better go and order a few mats, so I had a couple to continue on if one had worn out, and that was what I did after work on this day, and then just finished off the bottom of that page with a little bit of floral deco. And that brought me to the end of Thursday. Popping across onto Friday morning, I've used another one of those half scallops, and I've laid a little spray of flowers behind it from Sadie's stickers, and I just marked on there that I needed to do a PCR test. At this stage, part of the deal with returning to work was to have a negative PCR. It took much longer than I anticipated to get that test back. Fortunately, I was able to use rat tests as well, but at this stage you did have to have a negative PCR, and I think it took well over a week, if not 8 days or so, to get that PCR test back, so it was a bit of a waste of time really, but at least it came back negative, which was good. So popping underneath that sticker, I have used a quarter box from the kit, again with a little piece of floral, just marked on there that it was quiet at work. With having so many staff isolating and working from home, it did mean there weren't a lot of feet on the ground. Having said that, the bookings, like most often, were still very solid, but it was mainly telehealth because we were dealing with our current isolation problems. And then just above the full box, I decided to use another one of those little floral garden displays and pop that to finish the first half or the morning of Friday. Heading down to the second half of the day and using a half box from the kit, I noted on here that there was a huge storm which came through. We bought our 2 big rotties inside and kept them in while the storm came and passed, and we were fairly confident that it had taken its course, so the dogs went back outside again. And then we got a little bit more thunder and lightning as we started heading into sort of midnight and the early hours of the morning. Then my husband commented that it had been rather quiet outside, and upon checking we noticed that somehow the dogs had managed to nudge the gate and had helped themselves out. So we were trolling around the neighbourhood, a very quiet neighbourhood, trying to quietly whistle our dogs. We had no idea where they were. 2 black rotties in the middle of a very big black stormy night was not easy. My kids who own the dogs, my son and his girlfriend, were so distressed. They were so worried. I really didn't know where that. We had no idea. So we just sort of weaved through the streets for an hour or so trying to find them. And then eventually my son and his girlfriend found them trotting along, having a lovely walk as if they were on a Sunday afternoon outing. And they were quite surprised to see them, but very happy to get back in the car and come on home again. I don't know how far they would have gone had we not realised that they were missing earlier in the night. They were probably, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 kilometres away. But it was quite a worry. We all had a little bit of a sleep in because it was a very late night by the time we got to bed and battened down the hatches for the dogs. The storm had well and truly passed by now. It was actually quite eerily quiet. I got up and I filmed my Xmas spreads, or my Christmas spreads, my last 2 spreads for my previous planner and to finish off 2021 for me. And so I put some energy into that. Then I used another divider from the set that I've been using through the kit, and then I just popped down underneath it. I had posted another video that I had completed the voiceover for that afternoon. The script is from Paper Trail Plans. The planner is also from Paper Trail Plans, and then just a little bit of floral deco added to the bottom of that. And then I've gone back, as I mentioned earlier, and popped in the divider between those 2 stickers. Underneath the full box, I have used a to-do flag and another floral flag, and just marked on there that I did a foil and print of stickers. It's actually the other way around. I've got to print them before I can foil them. But nevertheless, that was what I did on Saturday afternoon, which took up a little bit of time. And then underneath that, I have used the popcorn and chair from the kit and a quarter box from the kit and marked on there that my husband and I watched the new Bond movie this night. We quite like a good Bond movie, and I didn't mind it at all. It was quite good. It was entertaining. It was interesting sort of watching it, knowing that it was going to be the last one that Daniel Craig was going to make. But I did enjoy this show. I'd heard mixed reviews about it, but on the whole, I didn't mind it at all. And then underneath that sticker, I've added a little bit of floral deco just to finish off the bottom of that area. I've then come back with some little groups and clusters of deco from my spoiled planner and just added that to that little bit of white space between that two groups of stickers. There really wasn't enough room there to add a flourish, and that little cluster was perfectly fine for what I needed it to do. Heading across on to Sunday morning, our event with the dogs had certainly caught up with me and I was quite weary, so I did have a sleep in. I've used a half box from the kit and some floral deco and a pillow and sleep in from Mr. and Mrs. Mint, which is a printable and also one of my favourite little ways to mark a sleep in, and that took up a bit of space on the beginning of Sunday morning. Because I had a bit that I wanted to fit in on this day, I decided to head down to the bottom above the full box, and I've used another half box with some foiling and more of the floral deco, and I just marked on here planning time, and then I was going to move up from there. So I've used a script from Paper Trail Plans and again a planner from Paper Trail Plans. It's probably one of my favourite little combinations at the moment to mark planning time. I'm really enjoying those, and those foils that I've used, they match the kit so beautifully. They're a perfect combination. So that is just above the full box there as I'm laying them down now. That pink is, it is not quite the right match for the rather corally colour that it's sitting on, but I just don't think it matters because the roses in this are also in a pink. And they all seem to work quite nicely together. Once you would never have sort of mixed different shades of pink quite like that, but nowadays it's all done so beautifully that you definitely can get away with it. Now above that half box, I have taken a quarter box and another one of those decorative little frames and popped that over the top and just marked on here that this Sunday afternoon was a fairly lazy one and I watched a Hallmark movie. I got the bite from these during the Christmas period and I'm still enjoying them. They're just so very relaxing. Don't have to use a lot of thinking, and you can just sit back and truly relax as you watch quite rather sweet stories unfold, and I'm finding them really enjoyable at the moment. Then underneath that I put in my planner and contacted my girlfriend to wish her a happy birthday as it was her birthday. The last couple of years we've ended up catching up for each other's birthdays quite late. I'm a December and she's a January, but with COVID and the various things happening, and she's also had some new babies to throw in there and so on, we just seem to not be able to catch up as easily as we once did. Nevertheless, it was marked in my planner and I certainly made sure that she knew that I was thinking of her. So that was a happy birthday using one of the half scallops with the foiling, a small quarter box and some balloons from the kit, and that was how I made up her birthday, or acknowledging her birthday on the Sunday. So that brings me to the end of the plans for this second half of the week, and now the week is concluded. I've fluffed around a little bit just trying to fit that in between, which is partly why I went down to the bottom to do this group of stickers. I knew I was going to be a little pushed getting that in there, but finally in the end, perseverance, we got there and that fitted in just fine. And I'm just going down to the bottom of the weekend and laying down. It's black, it's not foiled, the weekend sticker, which is fine. It worked okay too. There's plenty of foiling in this kit, so there was no real need for that to be foiled as well. I'm just giving you a little wiggle so you can pick up this. The rose gold foiling worked beautifully with this dusty pink colour. It really did. I thoroughly enjoyed laying it down. I'm really starting to feel much more comfortable in my rings planner again, and I'm just about to show you the stickers that I had left over, which were not a great deal. As I've mentioned earlier, I'm trying to work hard to use up the stickers that I'm getting in the kits, and I was reasonably happy that I'd used a good few of those. Thank you for joining me for this memory spread. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you coming back. Always happy to take your comments or any suggestions, or if there's any questions you have, please leave them below and I will answer. Bye for now.